Hey, I'm Katie and I'm back. Sorry for the unintentional hiatus, but I've got a great video for you today. The vinyl subscription box VNYL contacted me a few months ago and asked if I'd like to try out one of their boxes. I've heard a lot about the service, so I thought I'd take them up on that offer in the interests of science and vinyl. If you enjoyed this video and you're not already, please do remember to click subscribe before you leave the video today. If you turn on notifications, you'll get an alert whenever I post a new video or if I start live streaming. Bit of housekeeping. The first part of this video was filmed when I originally received the box, so let's go ahead and watch that, and I'll meet you on the other side to discuss the albums I received and my thoughts on the service in general. So VNYL or vinyl, I don't know quite how you're supposed to say it because I've only ever seen it written down or people like struggling to figure out how you're supposed to say it. Recently reached out to me over Instagram and they asked if I would be interested in testing out one of their boxes. I have seen a lot of different kinds of reviews for this service before. I've seen very positive reviews, I've seen very negative reviews. Being aware of that, I thought that seeing as I had now had the opportunity to review it for myself and provide another perspective, I should definitely check it out. I've also only seen reviews of VNYL from North American customers and reviewers, so I thought seeing as I am based in the UK and there may be possible UK and EU customers, it would be worth giving my perspective as well. So with that being said, I was really excited to test out this service. I have tested out a couple of other vinyl subscription services previously, and I'm also currently subscribed to Flying Vinyl, so I was interested to compare that. I also think that my music taste is quite different from the other videos that I've seen who have reviewed the service. My music taste is like more focused on UK indie and a lot of female artists and also like French 60s pop, so it's like a bit eclectic but also quite different from the kinds of music that I've seen in boxes before. So what is VNYL? It is a monthly subscription service. I believe you don't have to do it every month, but you can get a monthly box if you want to, and you can either get one record a month or you can get 3. Now the way that it differs from other subscription services is that while other subscription boxes will send you usually the same records, so it will be upcoming artists or special pressings, and they send the same to everyone. With VNYL, when you sign up, you connect your Spotify and you can also connect your discogs account, and then they look at the kind of music that you like. And you also fill in some details about the genres that you're interested in, your favorite artists, things to definitely avoid. And then they use that information to get an idea of what you like and send you some more records that are suited to your music tastes. These are so iconic now, I feel like, within the vinyl community. A lot of people will recognize these boxes, and so it's pretty fun to have one in my hand. So this is the hashtag curated, which means that it is exclusively done from my music taste. You can also now select specific hashtags, I think usually for a specific pressing that they have. So I saw they had like a Good Charlotte pressing. You can pick that and then I think you get 2 other records that I don't know if they're suited to your tastes or they're kind of to complement that specific pressing. But I was really excited to see what I'm gonna get in this box. I'm not really sure what to expect, but here it is. It arrived. This box came really quickly as well. So I submitted all of my details, I think by the end of August, beginning of September. And then they dispatched the box really quickly, like right at the start of September, and it came this week. So I think it took like a week international shipping. I don't know, pretty impressed actually with the speed of this. The box is fun. The box is this beautiful, like magenta, vibrant magenta vinyl. And it's got the Let's Get Physical at the top and the Love Will Tear Us Apart here. I know that a lot of people have difficulty with these tear strips. We'll see how I get on. Yeah, how about I just tear it? I've been watching so many videos about these reviews to kind of prepare myself and research it. And I've seen so many people struggle with opening this. And I'm like, am I any good at actually opening these tear strips? And the answer is, yes, I am any good. If any is the smallest amount of good at opening things. So we're gonna see how this goes. So, I'm really scared. Okay. No! There we go. Done. I think think that was pretty neat, actually. You gotta like save it on these bits. But cool. Okay. I don't know what the best way to do this is. I have a feeling the best thing to do is for me to not see what I'm getting. So, I'm getting out of breath. I'm getting a bit, whew. Okay. So I'm not gonna look in the viewfinder, or I'm gonna try not to look in the viewfinder, and we will see what we have. So, the first thing is, okay, I think this is the, what have we got? The monthly insert, I believe. So it's like a poster with a pool, a beautiful pool that looks like where I want to be, and a VNYL box and Dark Side of the Moon down there, and a couple of records as well. Vinyl Land, VNYL Land. That's quite cute. I quite like that print. And then they've got a little competition here. Snap a pic with your hot pink box and vinyls. The plural of vinyl is vinyl. Sorry, I will not be that person, but it's true. Post to your Insta and tell us what albums give you the feels. DM us at my.vinyl.org with a link to your Insta post to get your moolah. So this is a competition to get $15 as store credit. The first record. Let's see what it is, because I don't know if I accidentally peeked, but I don't know what it was, so we'll find out. Okay, you ready? You ready? Orchid Club. What's this? What? Okay, Blondie. What? Okay, so I have like the first 4 Blondie albums. I have a bunch of singles as well, and I do not have this album though. I think this is a, when is this from? The 80s? But it's got Island of Lost Souls on it. And it is the album The Hunter. That's where it pays to have long nails. What? Okay, I was really like not sure, because I was like, what if they don't know my taste? But I said like I really like female artists, and they must have seen that I have a bunch of Blondie and listen to a lot of Blondie. So, beautiful. Oh, it's like a nice pressing as well. Lyric sheet. Lovely. Nice. Okay, okay, you're doing well. Do you know what? I'm gonna pop this so that we can have like a little background. Number 2. Doing well so far. Okay. So, rededication to the suckers, Fat Cat, aka Ronnie Euro. So far we got 1 yes, 1 maybe. Have to listen to it. Okay, there's the last one. Interesting. As above, so below. Kind of looks like, I want to say like it looks psychedelic from the artwork. It's quite a cool record. It's like a pale yellow pressing. I don't know. Again, this is the one that I have no idea what it's going to be like. I don't know. How am I feeling? I don't know. So what's left in the box is a little note and a little VNYL sticker, hashtag VNYL. Okay, this is cute. There's like a picture. Oh, these are also, okay. Just to say, all the records that they're showing like 3 records that I love. Soccer Mommy, Courtney Barnett, and the Velvet Underground. Okay, I'm gonna see their reasoning. Hey Katie, welcome to the club. I noticed you were into a lot of female artists like Marika Hackman, The Big Moon, and Courtney Barnett. So here's a badass Australian rock group called Stonefield. So they're a female. I did say that I really like female artists, so definitely that sounds pretty promising. Next, I noticed you had a ton of J Dilla, so here's an interesting addition to your collection from Fat Cat. I do have a lot of J Dilla. I really like J Dilla. Finally, to finish off your Blondie collection, here's The Hunter. Enjoy, Reagan. Okay, seeing the reasoning, these make a little more sense. I will definitely have to listen to them, because I think sometimes it's like you just can't tell from artwork and like whether you've heard of someone yet. I'm going to listen to these. I'm going to come back to you with my thoughts on them and if I think they match up to my taste. But I will come back to you shortly, and it's going to seem like no time at all because I'm going to have just edited it in after this. Let's see how it goes. So since I unboxed these records, I've had a chance to play them through, get to grips with the general vibe, and formulate some thoughts. So let's get to the music. Hunter by Blondie was the first album in the box. I already have 4 Blondie albums and a number of singles, but to be honest, it wasn't a collection that I was planning to complete. Most of my favourite Blondie tracks are from the era from the self-titled album through to Eat to the Beat. Hunter was Blondie's 6th studio album, released in 1982. 6 months later, the band broke up, and it was almost 2 decades before they released another album. The only song that I knew from this album before listening to it was Island of Lost Souls, which I've always really enjoyed for its experiments with calypso. Hunter features a diverse mix of tracks, all loosely themed around hunting, pursuing, and searching. There's a Smokey Robinson cover, The Hunter Gets Captured by the Game, in which Debbie Harry really shows off her vocal range. And the track For Your Eyes Only was originally written as a Bond theme for the film of the same name. I definitely need to rewatch that now. Hunter was not a critical success in 1982, with Park Pewterbough writing for Rolling Stone. The trouble is, so intent is Blondie on making bold statements about contemporary malaise that even on the most upbeat numbers you find that you're reacting dispassionately as opposed to emotively. I don't agree. You certainly can dance to these tracks, and I'm really not sure how the concept is so different from Bowie's Let's Dance, which was released just a year later, and similarly sneaks politics and philosophy into popular music. So was it before its time? Is it because Blondie were never as popular in the US as they were in the UK? Is there maybe even a bit of sexism at play here? The entire critique of this album seems to be rooted in the idea that it doesn't work as pop music. But Blondie were never trying to make pop music. They're new wave, punk, which is all about experimenting. I feel the need to dig deeper on this one. I'm really interested to know your thoughts on this. Let me know in the comments which albums you think have been critically underrated or misunderstood. I don't know, I feel like there's a lot more to talk about here, and I feel like it might be the subject of a completely dedicated video essay type thing. If you would like that, let me know. And thank you, VNYL, for even letting me start this discussion. Like, this all started with a record that came from you, so thank you. The second album in the box was Rededication to the Suckers by Fat Cat, aka Ronnie Euro, and produced by Agor. Agor? I know I'm gonna say that wrong, forgive me. It was released in 2015, and I think technically it's an EP. The tracks are on the A side, and then there are instrumental versions of each of the tracks on the B side. So a little bit iffy on what that counts as. When I first pulled this out of the box, I was pretty confused because I did not recognize it. I was like, okay. And then I discovered that Fat Cat had previously collaborated with Jay Dilla, with whom he released Dedication to the Suckers in 2000. This album is a kind of tribute, revisiting of that earlier album. And although Jay Dilla is no longer around, Agor steps into his place and does a brilliant job on the production on this. I really enjoyed Fat Cat just showing off his incredible skill and technique. His flow reminds us just how hard it is vocally to MC well, something that I think a lot of people underestimate or just don't appreciate as a genuine skill. I already have some Jay Dilla in my collection, his Rough Drafts, Jay Stay Paid, and of course Donuts. So it was really cool to listen to some more music from people that he worked with and kind of contextualize his work more. I also really enjoyed researching Dilla and Fat Cat's collaboration, finding out more about what it was like to work and record with Jay Dilla. Fat Cat is quoted as saying, "Dilla didn't F around in the studio, and you had to be able to knock out your verse in one take." Wow. The instrumentals on the B-side are also really solid. Agor captures Dilla's style while evolving it and still retaining its essence. The third and final album in my box was As Above, So Below by Stonefield. Stonefield are an Australian band composed of the 4 Findlay sisters. They released As Above, So Below, their second LP, in 2016. I hadn't heard of them at all before, but as soon as I started spinning this album, I was in love. They had this deep, heavy sound, somewhere between metal and psychedelic, and channeled Led Zeppelin through the album. Needless to say, I wasn't surprised to discover that they've previously covered Whole Lotta Love. There are so many bangers on this album, and I love the imposing feel that the opening track Sisters establishes right from the very start. It's expansive too, experimenting with some prog rock on the B-side. Hearing it on vinyl especially just adds to that feeling of this all-encompassing wave of music just flooding over you. I love that Reagan at VNYL was able to look at my collection and some of the music that I really love, like Marika Hackman and The Big Moon, and introduce me to a band that I might not have even thought to have listened to, but that is perfectly in line with what I already love. And this pressing is absolutely gorgeous too. So that's the music, but now we come to the big question, is VNYL worth it? I'm really grateful to VNYL for sending this package to me, and I've really enjoyed listening to the new music. However, just to be clear, in this review, my priority is to you, the audience. So I'm going to run through what I think are the pros and cons of this service so that you can decide if it's right for you. Let's start with the cons. When my package was delivered, I received a note that I would need to pay the VAT and also a Royal Mail handling fee before I could actually get my package. This worked out at about £17, which is on top of the monthly cost of the service, $39 or approximately £29. I did contact VNYL, who said that they thought it was a mistake because they usually pay all of the customs on their side. However, to be completely honest, I don't really know what happened, and I wasn't really sure what had happened or whether some customs had been paid on their side, but maybe there's extra customs on the UK side. I don't know. This is just my experience. So if you are based in the UK, or I'm guessing anywhere else in the EU, you might have a similar issue. The second con is the very concept of curation. Now, I know that that's probably pretty difficult for them because they've literally built their brand around the idea that it's a curated selection of records, but I think it's both a blessing and a curse. On the one hand, I think it's really cool that I got such interesting recommendations based upon my record collection. On the other hand, I therefore can't really confidently recommend that everyone will have exactly the same experience as me, because I have no idea what you would be getting, or even if your package would be as carefully curated as packages that are sent out deliberately for review. Now I want to be clear, I'm not saying that that's the case, but I personally can't make that kind of blanket statement that I'm sure yours is going to be as curated as mine. I just don't know, and I think it's worth flagging up. And finally, if you are very specific about the kinds of records that you want to collect, this is going to be a bit of a gamble. I know that VNYL do offer some packages where you're guaranteed one or more specific records, but if you go for the curated option, then there's a lot of trust involved, which may or may not suit your record collecting style. But that's enough of the negatives. What about the pros? So firstly, they do genuinely seem to have looked at my record collection and recommended music related to what I'm already interested in, and specifically music that I may not have even thought to listen to previously. Their curation for me personally is spot on. The second pro is that you can build up a collection and discover new music on vinyl pretty easily with VNYL, especially if you just don't have that much time to spend crate digging, or maybe you live somewhere quite remote and it's just not practical to get to a record store every month. At least with VNYL, you know that you're getting a curated selection of records every month to add to your collection. Thirdly, VNYL's design and branding are really striking. I love how the box looks and the whole idea of having different vibes that you can sign up to. They're definitely creating an overall experience, and you feel like you're part of that community when you receive your own box. And a fourth and final pro to consider is that if you sign up for VNYL, then you also get access to their exclusive members store. I haven't really had a look in that, but I've heard that it's quite good, so that might be something to consider. In deciding whether I would continue using this service, the biggest question for me was whether if I had been paying for this box, I would feel that it was worth the money. And the answer is no. I don't think that it suits my record collecting style. I like to plan my record purchases quite carefully, and I tend to use Spotify for music discovery. When I compare it to my subscription to Flying Vinyl, not only is Flying Vinyl a cheaper monthly subscription service, it also introduces me to 5 new artists every month. I'd personally rather spend the money on 2 or 3 records that I've chosen and really like and know that I like, especially because I really love the experience of visiting a record store, looking through the new releases, and deciding which one's coming home with me. I also love crate digging for second-hand records, and when I think of how many records I could buy for £29, there's no competition for me. But obviously, I'm not everyone. If you like the sound of VNYL and you feel like it would suit your lifestyle, there are a lot more videos on YouTube of various unboxings where you can see all the other records that different people have gotten. And you can also find out more about the service at vnyl.org. Have you ever tried VNYL? Or any of the other vinyl subscription services? I'd love to know your thoughts about them, so do drop a comment below. I also have an Instagram update for you. I've just launched a vinyl specific account, VNYL. She's very new, but I'm going to be sharing all of my record collection and vinyl specific posts on that account now. My Katie Wawa account is going to be more personal, general, travel posts from now on. If you haven't already, do check out VNYL and give it a follow if you like what you see. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!